Welcome to Azulita, your home for amazing materials and self-care.
What is work-life balance and why is it important?
Hi, I'm Courtney, 12-year special education teacher, first-time vlogger.
I'm Katrina, also first-time vlogging, just 7 years special ed teaching experience.
So let's get to it. Work-life balance requires intentionality. So how do you make that happen?
I think it's really important to prioritize the activities that are self-care for you. So making a list and keeping that list somewhere visual for yourself to refer back to, and thinking about what activities are really essential for you in taking care of yourself, and then brainstorming on the frequency of those activities, how often you should be doing each of them.
And it really should be like a routine for you, the way that your classroom is a routine. So making sure that you know exactly when you're doing things and why you're doing them, and making sure that they have little slots in your life is so important.
Yeah, just like your students feel comfortable coming into the classroom knowing exactly what they're gonna do each day, you should know exactly how you're gonna take care of yourself every day. And it should be every day that you're doing at least one thing for yourself.
Absolutely. So that brings us to sort of scheduling for frequency. So how do we decide when to do things for ourselves? So how often and in what way?
Yeah, and referring back to your list, thinking about when would be a good time to do things. So if it's like movement, physical activity, exercise, you probably want to do those a couple times a week. Maybe meditating every day if that's something you like, or listening to music, coloring, those things might be daily. Maybe things like massage or concerts, those are monthly. And then maybe there's some activities that are a little more expensive, and so you just do them once or twice a year. But brainstorming for those and then putting them on your calendar, booking those things, buying the concert tickets, paying for your massage or your spa day, whatever that is. And if you can't book it, putting that time on your calendar for you, booking out those hours and times so that you adhere to them and really take that time for yourself.
And I think that helps a lot in sticking to it. You aren't going to stick with it if you can make an excuse to not do it, especially if you're really pressed for time. Maybe you've overextended yourself a little. So making sure that you make that schedule is super important. And that can really help with follow through.
And thinking about where you want to do those activities. So if you're going to color, maybe you want to just go to your favorite coffee shop and color there so that you actually take the time to do that instead of chores around the house. So being proactive and intentional and strategic about how you do those to make sure that you really follow through and take care of those self-care activities.
And making sure that you're booking it as an appointment, usually with somebody else. So happy hours are a really good way to go because people are expecting you there. So it's much harder for you to be able to be like, oh, but I have this doe-eyed child who needs help. Yes, you do, and yes, that's important, but other people are expecting you, and it really helps you with that follow through. Your personal life really goes by the wayside. It's hard to date, it's hard to have a family, it's hard to have friends who aren't teachers, but it's really important to write out those personal priorities. I myself would go ahead and write them down every day in the morning for a year because it was a real big struggle for me.
And then they're in the forefront of your mind and you're really making sure that you're putting actions into making them happen. And so if you're somebody that's single and wants to date, then maybe you're scheduling some time on your calendar, booking that out for going to a local event to meet people, or maybe scheduling some time for yourself to actually look through a dating app and pick one. That way you're just being intentional about what your goals for yourself are and making sure that they happen.
And you can be really clear with that community we've built, that happy hour brigade, and they can help you to be accountable. So you can ask them am I doing well? You can check in with them. That really helps.
Yeah, and maybe you're not doing the dating apps on your own and you're gonna make a happy hour where they come and they help you set it up. That's cool too, whatever works for you.
Cupids. So in that same idea, how do we sort of reflect on how we're doing? I think on top of on top of having people who can help you to know whether or not you're doing a good job, tracking yourself. So maybe before you leave every day, just looking through your priorities and saying, did I honor this? Was I following through with this? Being really clear with your own process.
Yeah, and be compassionate with yourself. It's not gonna just be perfection right away, and we don't really need perfection. We're looking for growth and making time for ourselves and whatever that looks like. So if you're having trouble and you keep getting to work earlier and earlier and earlier, maybe book yourself a walk with a friend so that you get to work at that prescribed time. Or I would go to a 6 a.m. yoga class so that I wouldn't show up until my contract hours started. Whatever works for you so that you're taking care of yourself and making sure that you're getting that time for yourself and thinking about what roadblocks are in the way. Maybe you need something to help you with your IEP paperwork, or maybe you need a lesson plan, and we have some of those materials for you available for free if you need them to help you so that you can take that time for yourself because you're worthy and you deserve it.
And you are not doing a good job fooling people. You think you are. You think that you can put enough coffee in you and that you can like maybe get there early enough and like nobody can tell. They can tell. Like you are not your best, and if you are not your best, you're not giving people your best. So you really should take this time for yourself. Don't think of it as a selfish thing. I mean, it is self-care, but it is also your first line of defense against burning out, against being just awful all of the time and not being aware of it.
Yeah. It may seem like valiant to put your students' needs above your own, but you're also a model, a really good role model for them, and show them that they deserve to take care of themselves when they're an adult. And sometimes you need to take just a day off and reboot, and that's totally okay. Make sure that you're showing up to work as a healthy, happy individual. You'll be a much better teacher for it. And your students, they can tell and they appreciate that. Just like you want them to be healthy and happy, they want you to be healthy and happy. And you're the only one that can make that happen for yourself.
And we want you to be healthy and happy.
Yay!
So tell us how you're doing. Go into the comments right now, our community, and let us know. How's your work-life balance going? It's okay if it's on fire and flipped over. Mine was.
Yeah, and we'll help you with that. If you have some self-care activities that are really working, you want to share with others, put those in the comments. If you are struggling with something, share that in the comments. We're here, we're a community for you. We're happy to help you turn that fiery car upside down with some fire extinguishers, plan some happy hours.
Fine.
Yeah, we'll make sure that you're good. So like, share, subscribe, visit Patreon and our website for more materials, more self-care activities, and a supportive community that cares about you.
Until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.